Hi, I'm Dr. Elmore, and I'm here today to talk to you about your course. This is ENC 1102, Writing and Rhetoric 2. This course will help you to develop your research skills, your argument skills, using MLA style, citing sources, and we will further your vocabulary for talking and understanding rhetoric. What is rhetoric? Rhetoric is simply the art of communicating effectively, especially in a persuasive setting. Let me tell you a couple of things about myself. You guys in the discussion forums will be introducing yourselves. It's important in a class like this to get to know each other a little bit because this is going to be a writing community. You guys are going to be sharing your writing with one another and with myself. So unlike, say, a big math or physics class where it doesn't really matter if you have a good rapport with everyone else, this class, writing is a sensitive thing, so let's get to know each other a little bit. I'll start with myself. Dr. Elmore. I got my PhD at Arizona State. I wrote my dissertation on one of my favorite writers. Her name is Penelope Lively. My other favorite writers are D.H. Lawrence and Lynn Truss. I have one of her books here. She's just a really hilarious writer who wrote Eats, Shoots, and Leaves. Believe it or not, it was a really good comedy book on punctuation. I should tell you a couple of other things. I've been at FIU for 5 years, going on 6. And yes, I am a dedicated Miami Heat fan. Congratulations to the champs. So those of you Floridians who also saw LeBron and Dwayne Wade lead the team to victory, I'm sure you're happy about that. Let me just quickly run over the course objectives for you. By the end of 1102, students will, yes, I'm reading from my laptop, students will write to achieve varying purposes and to engage different audiences, understand the structure of closed-form arguments, employ effective persuasive appeals, analyze rhetorical strategies in professional texts, generate research questions that lead to meaningful inquiry, show knowledge of conventions of academic research, and further their rhetorical vocabulary. A couple of things that I want to point out about this course. FIU is a unique institution. As you know, South Florida boasts quite a bit of diversity. So one thing that FIU is trying to achieve, we've got a Title V grant initiative going on right now, the purpose of which is to try to help FIU become better at reaching out to all students regardless of monolingual or multilingual status. Of course, I'm referring to folks that have English as their first and only language or any range of variations of that. So maybe you came to the U.S. when you were in elementary school and started studying English then, or maybe you just came recently, or perhaps you have 3 or 4 languages. Maybe you have one language spoken at home, one at school. Maybe you're a better listener, better learning through listening, or maybe you learn better through reading. So all of those, whatever your background, we want to be able to reach out to everybody. So this 1102 class and all ENC classes, and hopefully the university at large, will be able to meet your needs. So that's something I'm going to be aware of this semester. And I encourage everybody to contribute in a way that you're comfortable. I do have to say that since this is a summer course, this is going to be super accelerated. So you guys are going to have to be mature and responsible and do all the work on time in order to pass. These assignments sometimes will overlap one another. It's just going to fly by so quick. So please, please, please keep up with the work. This semester you're going to have to do 3 major essays: a rhetorical analysis, an exploratory essay, and a research persuasive argument. You'll get more details about those in the assignment Dropbox and the syllabus. We will use Turnitin for the last paper, so be prepared to submit your paper there. There is a lot of support for students who engage in writing on campus. One of those resources I should tell you about is the Center for Excellence in Writing. Now that's located on the first floor of the library on both campuses. So you can go through walk-ins there, but I recommend making an appointment. You can do that online or calling. And also they provide excellent tutoring. And it's not necessarily considered remedial. It's not just for for writers who struggle with English. It's for anybody who wants help, wants a second set of eyes to proofread your papers. And don't consider it simply somebody who's going to go in there and edit their work for you. You guys are supposed to do your own editing and proofreading, but what they can do is to help you either A, look at the major global areas in your paper that need work, or B, they can also help you to recognize maybe patterns of errors and you can start correcting them. This semester you will have the opportunity to revise your papers. What happens is we'll usually have a first draft which the instructor and your peers comment on. Then we'll have a second draft. The second draft I will grade, and each semester I do have time for every student to rewrite one paper after the final grading. Now whether it's a second draft or a rewrite, I do need for you to do two things for me. Two things. First, I would like for you to highlight all the revisions that you made in your paper, and second, I would like for you to include a brief paragraph at the end of the paper telling me what did the peers and what did the instructor ask you to do in your revision strategy and how do you think you achieved it. So when you turn those in, it's easier for me to see what changes you've made, and I will be able to appreciate the process of your revision. Speaking of process, this is very important. Process versus product. Which do you think is more important? The writing process, of course, is important, but the final product is important too. I suppose it depends really upon the paper and the audience. If you're writing a resume, for example, to try to apply for a job, that product is extremely important. You want to have it looking polished and perfect so that you can look credible as you try to get hired. Now, in writing and rhetoric classes 1 and 2 at the university, though, this is kind of a comfort zone, a safe place where you can write papers and experiment and develop your academic voice and your academic prose. And we encourage you to think about the process. So, in other words, the fact that you are revising, that you're rethinking, and that you are editing carefully, those are going to be factored into your grade. This course will basically have two components online. You're going to have your discussion boards, and you're also going to have the major assignments. A couple things that I want to point out about the first year writing courses that maybe not everybody knows. First, although for some of you, you might think of this as a class or a set of two classes that you just want to get through and move on, we're actually hoping that what these classes will do is not simply get you to an end product, which is 3 or 4 papers, but actually help you develop habits of mind of good writers. It's possible that in your career field or that in your daily life that you will have a lot of writing to do in the future. So we want you to be able to write at a higher level than maybe high schools would expect. So at the college level, we're going to expect you to engage in college level writing and thinking and habits of mind. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean careful reading. Anytime you have a text that you have to consider or analyze, or looking at your sources for your papers, we want you to be a little bit more of a savvy critical thinker when you look at these texts. So think about them carefully, and we'll talk more about that later during the semester. Other habits of mind of writers, these critical thinkers and writers at the college level do think about their own writing. What revision strategies work for you and what don't? What helps you to develop a problem? What helps you to organize your work? Is it outlining? Is it brainstorming? Is it writing and then going back and rewriting? And we'll talk more about that this semester too. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this short video introduction to the course. I really look forward to working with you guys. I've been teaching writing for over 10 years, and I always find the students and their thoughts and their ideas just fascinating. So I look forward to working with you guys, and I hope you all have a good semester. If there's anything that I can do that will help me to accommodate you in this class to do a good job and to succeed, please let me know. Just keep in mind, it is a lot of work and it goes by quickly. So please keep up and let me know what I can do to make this class a success for you.